I went from a skinny, disgusting weirdo to a jacked, athletic gladiator build in just 2 years, following this very simple and effective 4-day routine. You see, the thing about modern day advice is that a lot of it is wrong. A lot of it's backed because of science or because it has hacks that's gonna, magically promise you to get things faster than you can actually do it. It just has some weird quirks that get clicks, that get people looking at it, that grab people's attention because they want to find the shortest way to their goals. The truth is, the most effective routine is the one that's the easiest to replicate and that you can stick with the longest. I truly believe that a 4-day upper lower split is exactly that. It's so simple and easy, it just makes it the most effective routine. Because it's so simple and easy, it's going to result in you getting your gains the fastest and easiest way possible. I'll go more into it later in the video as to why, I prefer this routine, why it beats out push-pull legs and why it beats out full body. But for now, let's just get right into it. The first thing that really stands out about upper lower, which I love about it, is that it lines up perfectly with the 4 big compound movements. So each day you can dedicate to one of the big movements. And if you don't know already, I'm a big advocate of doing lots of compound movements, putting more of your eggs into that basket of doing compound movements, doing high intensity compound movements, doing high reps, doing high volume, because I truly believe that within the compound movements is the actual recipe to realize a massive stimulus for growth. And the best part about compound movements is that you're actually going to be useful. You're not going to be a potato. Like, you ever have those friends who are like bodybuilders, they go to the gym, but when you go to play like basketball with them or something, like, they're big and they put on muscle. It's really good because a lot of people struggle to do that. But you go to play like sports with them and they can't even like move properly. So compound movements, people who do compound movements like me, we're going to be athletic, especially if you cut. Everything's going to be exactly where you need it to be. You're going to be more athletic and more mobile, more useful, more powerful than you'll ever be in your entire life. I'm a huge fan of compound movements. I'm a huge fan of, like, the Juggernaut method of training, staying physically fit and useful while still building massive amounts of muscle mass and strength. So how do we structure our workouts? So like I said before, you want lots of volume, lots of sets, lots of reps with your main compound movement. So, typically for most beginner routines, this starts off with, 5 sets of 5. And that's really good. I recommend that too for most beginners. However, don't be afraid to, bump this up to 5 sets of 10. If you have any kind of plateau, size plateau, strength plateaus, even a mental plateau, bro, a 5 set of 10, fuck it, man. It's going to break any of those plateaus. I'm telling you, 5 sets of 10, if you're bulking, if you do 5 sets of 10 on like sets of, let's say, squats or bench, you're guaranteed growth. The weight doesn't even have to be that heavy at all. I want anyone to go and do that and come back and tell me they didn't grow. The thing is, I know that's not going to happen. And yeah, so basically, you want this movement to be a large chunk of your workout. The thing about beginners and the thing about, modern routines is that they have like 8 different exercises. They'll do like 3 sets of bench, 3 sets of this, 3 sets of that. It's like, no, man, just stick to this one movement for a bit. Stay on it, enjoy it, learn to love it, because this first movement is the big movement. It's going to create the biggest stimulus. You're going to move the most amount of weight. It's going to provide the most amount of growth to your body. Allow yourself to derive a massive amount of fatigue from it. Accumulate that fatigue, accumulate that growth stimulus from this main movement. The same way I structure my sets, I tell people over and over again to, reverse pyramid your sets so that you can keep that, fatigue level really high. You can push yourself to the maximum while staying in that rep range. The same way I recommend reverse pyramiding your sets, I also recommend, in a way, to reverse pyramid your workout, where it's like the start is like you put, a lot of effort, a lot of intensity into that first workout, but as you go down, it gets a little bit less and less till, where they end, you're just doing your face pulls. It's a little bit of hypertrophy. You're doing a set of 15. But of course, a lot of it goes towards, for example, working on your mobility or strengthening a weak point, stuff like that, right? So you can see how everything kind of fits together like a puzzle piece. Everything has its purpose. Everything gels together. It's like a natural order, a natural progression of things. By the way, if you're liking this kind of video and you want to have my free routine, check the link in the description below. I'll send that to you. It's completely free. You follow it, you stick with it, I guarantee you results. Anyways, you do that 4 times a week. Keep it very, very simple, very, very easy to replicate, easy to repeat. Scale it up, you level it up, you do it over and over again. you're going to get jacked, you're going to get big, you're going to see results. I did say I'm going to talk about why I like this over 3-day full body or full push pull legs. So with full body, I'll go over real quickly. Full body is I think just more complicated when you're mixing upper and lower body. Whereas with this, it's way more structured. You just have your full upper body, okay, full lower body, full upper, full lower. Whereas full body, it's kind of all over the place. And then some days you're going to be squatting, so it's more lower body dominant. It just gets messy. I've tried full body a few times and it didn't work as well as upper lower. Push pull legs, it's a similar thing. It's not as clean. On top of that, it's more days, so it allows less recovery, especially from the big compound movements. But let's say you're doing 5 days a week, you can't hit every day twice. If you're doing 6 days, you're hitting every day twice, but you're only resting 1 day. So to me, there's no golden zone for when it comes to push pull legs. It's just not optimal unless you're a complete beginner and you're willing to do an 8-day cycle. But that's a lot more complicated than I'm willing to tell you guys what to do. For me, the best thing you can do is a 4-day upper lower. Like I said, if you want my routine, it's linked in the description, completely free. I'll send it to you. If not, just feel free to follow any of this advice. I'm telling you, the simpler and easier the routine, the more repeatable and replicable it is, the more success you're going to see. You don't need a very complicated routine. You don't need something, with a million different exercises. You need something that you're going to be able to level up just a couple exercises per muscle group and stay disciplined and stay consistent with. I highly recommend doing compound movements. Compound movements are the key to building lots of muscle mass, keeping, the fat off, keeping the power up, the athleticism up. It's just the best way to train, compound movements in a higher rep range. Of course, accessories and isolations have a place, but especially if you're a young guy, you have lots of energy, you have a lower risk of injury, you have a higher rate of recovery. I highly, highly recommend hammering home the compound movements. It's the thing to do. Anyways, guys, that's going to be the end of this video. I hope you enjoyed it. Subscribe to stick around for more content just like this. Like the video if you did. I'll see you in the next one.